And welcome back to the hashtag IBMI Everywhere podcast. Thanks so much, Ranga, for joining us today. You may know him from the IBMI community. It's been around the block for a little bit, with specifically in Common Europe. Thanks so much for joining us, Ranga.
Thank you so much, Josh, because I sincerely love what you are doing. That is the IBMI everywhere. Because first thing I mean, on LinkedIn, I continue discovering day after day that all those big businesses that people do not suspect and they are using IBMI. So it is really very, very good because we can show that IBMI is everywhere. And that initiative, I like it very much. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it. It's been a wonderful ride and happy that people are still enjoying it, The goal for today is to learn a little bit about you. Maybe you could share with us some takeaways from your experience with Common Europe, as well as Common the US. And on top of that, maybe you can share some takeaways at the end of the things that you want to share with the IBMI community at large. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you wanted that I should say something about me, for example?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. No, in fact, it's very simple and at the same time, little complicated. I had three lives. And why three lives? Because my first life is I am a biology researcher. And there I was doing academia. I have a PhD in biology, and then I have a fellowship in the Indian Institute of Allergy and Applied Immunology. That is my first life. And then the second life, that is the IBMI. Because in fact, I discovered the IBMI because I was in a cancer hospital of University of Brussels. There I was the lonesome IT guy. I started the department from scratch. And then we had ordered two System 34s, which were the predecessors of IBMI. And something which which will amaze people, because the System 34 on which we computerized our laboratory, it had 128K of memory and 128 megs of of disk space. And with that, it was fully running the full laboratory of our cancer hospital. So that is how I discovered IBMI. So, and then, of course, the department which evolved, and long story short, we wrote our complete full medical record on IBMI. And that is something which is really appreciated by our doctors, by nurses, and by the administrative staff. So that is my second life. And then when I retired, I said I should give back to the community. And that is how it is Common Belgium since long 1991, Common Europe since 2000. And so I have seen all this. And then that is my third life, which I feel very, very happy because I'm in the community and giving back to the community. So that is
wow. Ranga, can you share us a little bit how you made that transition into the IBMI space? You that did not sound like that's what you went to school for at all.
Well, it's okay. The way it happened, I was supposed to teach in the University of Antwerp in Belgium, and I was not selected for that, and I was looking for a job. So naturally, it was in the laboratory that I could get a job, and there was simple doing laboratory analysis. Then the chief biochemist who saw in my CV, in my resume, that I had done 80 hours of computer course in the local engineering college. And he said, hey, would you like to computerize our laboratory? I said, why not? I computerized the laboratory. I was, like I said, I was the lonesome IT guy. Then the department started. And then, because with the academic background, I immediately wrote an article on those System 34, how it was running the laboratory and all that. And that was fun. So finally, in the end, we have a big department. And we have a full medical record is on the IBMI. So I switched from, let's say, academia to business to IT.
So I have a question for you. When you made that switch, do you find that your skills like in the academia world have helped you in the IBMI world?
Well, it is really a very pertinent question because I was there with many young doctors. They said we should do the computerization of our hospital. With my doctorate, naturally, I was not feeling fish out of water with those people. And bunch of people, we sat together and we said, what does our hospital need? So where do we go? How to modernize the things? And so we said, first the laboratory, then the radiology, then the secretariat, and all those things followed. And that is how I was very happy because I was part of the community and we together, we were having fun. So that is how it started and it continued.
So that means that you're saying that your ability to understand the doctors and understanding the business logic effectively helped guide the teams to where they need to go with the modernization efforts.
Exactly. Exactly. That is what I mean.
Wow.
That background, it bigly helped because I could talk their language. So I was talking both the languages, business and doctors.
That's a really unique role. That's amazing. I mean, there's probably a million stories from that time. So, a question for you is: do you have any messages for the IBMI community that you want to share?
I think the very first message I would like to give will be about bringing young people and the students to the IBMI. And that is something which we are doing in Common Belgium and Common Europe. We always give free entries to all the students who can come to our events because we have to show that IBMI is not something that AS400 which was sitting there and the old technology. It is the modern technology. Then it is our need is to tell them how the beauty of this platform, and that beauty of this platform is the integrated system. This integrated system has everything you need, and then you have security, you have internet server, and then you have the database, because often they are not used to that. Here, it's a fantastic database. It is all there and everything is in one box. Of course, there are other things outside of it. The architecture of IBMI. And that architecture of IBMI is very, very important. So when we show this beauty of this platform, and at the same time, we can develop applications on all open source languages, because often these students, they know Java, they know SQL. So when they come, we can show that, okay, no, you need not develop only in RPG. You can develop directly in those things. So this way, I have often seen, they said, hey, we never discovered this platform. We never knew about it because everybody talks about Microsoft. But then this is something, this machine, it's so impressive. So I think that is one of the important messages we have to give. Don't be afraid. Don't search RPG guys. Search just IT graduates. And when they are IT graduate in Europe, when we say graduate, that is college +3 and or university students, and they will be operational. And don't be afraid. Your IBMI will continue and your business will need IBMI, and that will continue. So that is the first message I will say I would like to give. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really interesting message. I mean, a lot of people feel like that they are required to having only people that know RPG, but to your point is that open systems has really opened the IBMI to so many more options out there, and it makes a big difference to the talent pool you're able to get from. And being a part of Common, do you have any suggestions on people how to effectively convince their bosses to allow them to come to in-person events?
This is very important because always we hear that people say that we don't have budgets, our bosses do not permit us. But then coming to in-person events is very important for upskilling, for reskilling, and to advance your career. And to do that perfectly, you can say, I have a 3-point formula for that. And the 3-point formula is very simple. The first thing, you write a letter to your boss. And when you write a letter to your boss, pick just 3 points, just 3 subjects. And on those 3 subjects, you have to say, look, boss, our business has these 3 needs. And then if I go to the conference, I'm going to learn about these 3 things. And it is going to help us directly to our business. And at the same time, you can tell them which are the big, let's say, developers from Rochester we are going to meet and other peer people. And there, that networking, having that direct contact with them, that is something you can put there. And then, so first thing, you prepare for the budget, show how it is going to help us. Then second, attend the conference. And not only that, don't stop there. You have to write a report saying, look, I attended the conference and there what I could learn and how it is going to advance our business directly. You can take some security example, ransomware or high availability, because people are very much afraid. Of course, IBMI never stops. But then
Sure.
at times there are accidents. So that is
Touche.
something where, yeah, so high availability is important. So that is, so show the boss that what I learned and how I'm going to use it. And then third, don't stop there. After 3 or 4 months, show that what you did and how it has helped the business. So this is the 3-point formula that say what is important for the business, say how you are going to achieve it, and third, show that you have achieved it. And this cycle continues.
No,
So
it's a
that is,
wonder. It's an amazing formula because I think that people are not necessarily thinking about how to get there. I mean, everyone agrees that going to an event is important, and then that FaceTime with, as you mentioned, the people from Rochester and from just there or just around the community to network with others and brainstorm with others is important. But being able to put it down, pen to paper, and getting it in front of the boss to be able to set up that budget for you and prove to them afterwards why it was worth it for them to take off work time and to go out there is going to be a big game changer for people to
yeah.
be able to get in. And one last thing for you is that where do you see the future of IBMI?
That is one of my dearest questions because I know being there on IBMI since so long, IBMI has a very bright future. For the business point of view, because you can see all the applications there, I mean, that you can write, you can create, or all the packages that you can take. But at the same time, now everybody is talking about AI, and AI is there and will be there. And our Power 10 server is already there having a GPU that helps you to do AI. And then Steve Will has also the initiative about AI in the languages. So that is one thing. But at the same time, IBMI is a platform. And that platform, that's operating system, it runs on Power servers. And for the moment, we are on Power 10, Power 11, and then there are Power 12, Power 13. They are already announced. People are working on that. And with that, the life cycle of every Power chip is about 3 years, and it continues, of course, later, but then new things come. So this way, we are assured of IBMI to be there, Power systems to be there in, let's say, 2035. But at the same time, this is the story about the Power servers. But then it is the IBMI. And if you have heard and watched Steve Will speaking about this in so passionately, I always attend it because he shows you the roadmap, that big arrow going 2035 and beyond. So we are, let's say in 2025, it is already 10 years and then they extended and they extended. So this way, we know it will never go away. And why I say this, because if you have your applications now, you can tell your business, you can tell your CEO, we are going to have this server, it will be there, and it will be giving us the service like it is, and it will be improving more and more. It will be really up to date because people are working on that, and Rochester Development Lab people are there. We have contacts with them one-to-one, and that's also something which the young man who is asking for the budget, you can say that, hey, I know Scott Fosty. I have his email address.
We took a selfie together, right?
Yeah, exactly. So there will be many more, minimum 10, if not more. And it goes. So Steve will always says, don't worry, we will take care of it, and you take care of your business. And that is something which I like, because finally the IT, why we are doing IT? It is not for IT's sake, it is for our business. And we want to give that service to the business that they can depend reliably and fully on IBMI. So that is something which I really like. The future is bright, no problems.
It's amazing. Well, Ranga, really appreciate you joining us today. There's a lot of things to take. I'm going to do a quick recap of some of the things we just talked about. And I think it's important for us to be thinking about them. I think that the most important ones is the three main bullet points you mentioned, which is we have to remember to bring in young people to IBMI, not just RPG folks that could be on any platform, running on any language. Remembering how to prepare for attending in-person events, and remember the future of IBMI is bright. Thank you again, Ranga. Really appreciate you, and looking forward to seeing you at the next common event. Thanks so much.